checking on her. Lying in the dark, I listened to the sound of next door's television. We lived in a terrace house in the inner city suburb of Clifton Hill. The walls were like paper and you could hear everything. That was normal. I was used to the constant hum of noise. Rolling onto my side to turn off the reading light, I stared at the reassuring line of B's body under the sheet and easily fell asleep. When I woke, it was very quiet. The neighbor's television was off. I couldn't see B anymore. There was something in the way. Tilting my face on my pillow, I looked up at a shadow of a man. He was standing over my single bed. The streetlight shone through the open window, lighting up his face. He was staring down at me, a baseball bat in his hand. We locked eyes for a moment before I began to scream. You won't want to hear all this. It's getting late. You might have someone to go home to, a husband or a wife, maybe. You'll just want to cut straight to the facts. You'll want to know where she is. The missing woman, Melissa Moore, Mel. You'll want to know where she has gone and whether I had something to do with it. Of course I did. We both know that already. That's why I'm here. Part 1. Lack of Empathy, 2008. Chapter 1. It began in the change room. The bodies of sweaty adolescent girls, the steam of the showers, and the intensity of emotions gave the room a living pulse. The bad thing inside me took root there. Like mold, it grew in that hot, moist place. The change room always stank of sweat and strawberry body spray. I slipped my t-shirt over my head and then slid my sport top off from underneath. Ignoring the squeaks of rubber soles against the wet floors and the cackles and chides of the girls around me, I tried to tune my ears into the conversation going on in the corner. I only caught snippets. So filthy. Bet her bush was poking out the sides and... Pervert. Really, Mel... I sneaked a glance. Casss and Saanvi leaned against the wall, decked out in their oversized Doc Marten boots, undersized flannel dresses, and thick black stockings. Mel reclined in the corner in just her boots, bra, and underwear, braiding a piece of her hair. Other girls began disbanding. See you later. See you in English. Bye. I could hear them clearly now. Cass's soft voice. She kept trying to demonstrate how to do a jump serve right in front of my face. That's disgusting. Come on, it's almost showtime. Saanvi threw Mel her dress. She tucked the braid behind her ear and pulled it on. They whispered something I couldn't hear and laughed, their eyes darting around the change room. I look around too. Almost everyone had gone. The only girl left aside from us was Miranda. She fumbled with something in her bag, her wide back to us. Really, she was just waiting to get changed. There was no way she would risk exposing the rolls of fat on her stomach if anyone else was there, not after what happened last time. Throwing my PE clothes into my backpack, I walked out of the change room before they noticed me. In high school, eavesdropping was a cardinal sin. Out on the oval, the sun glinted off the wet grass. It must have rained. Summer was long gone. It had been 3 months since I'd woken to the man standing over my bed. He had run off when I screamed, back through the living room window. The frame had been rotted ever since we moved in, and like most of the other windows in our house, the lock didn't work. Mum had been on at the landlords for years to fix those locks. It was the last straw. We were moving in a couple of weeks. At home, most of my clothes were packed into boxes. Not that it mattered. I wore the same thin grey hooded jacket every day. I'd pull the sleeves down over my hands and constantly fiddle with the drawstrings. I washed my hair every day and didn't think to use any product, so I always looked a bit